fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star, I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky.
So what is up, YouTube? Welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to a Filipina. Today's video, I'm going to talk about, are you rich in the Philippines, or are expats considered rich in the Philippines? Well, after spending about 7 years back and forth going to the Philippines, and most recently 15 months, I've lived in the province. I've been in the bubble. The average rate in Manila is anywhere from like 228,000 peso to maybe 500,000 peso a year. Some people are only making anywhere starting off at 10 to 15,000 peso, upwards to 60,000 peso per month for an income. And these are people, a lot of people that might be into, like, it could be digital and marketing. They have a degree. Then you got the normal people. I call them like the blue collar workers, like me. Carpenters, cement heads, I call them. The guys that do the cement work. In my province, 300 to 400 peso per a day. Manila could be 5 to, let's say, 700 peso. My wife's brother works for a company where he travels. He gets room and board for free, and food, and gets to stay. They rent him nice houses and stuff. And he averages, because a lot of times they're working an hour or 2 hours overtime, sometimes 10 hours a day. He can almost make 1,000 peso a day, but that's considered a good job. 1,000 peso a day, 6 days a week, is actually very good money down there. And, are you rich in the Philippines? First of all, in this video, I'm not going and saying that I'm better than anyone. Like I said, I married a Filipina. I built a house down in the province to learn to live the way they lived. Humbled myself, bought people lots of rice, helped out when the typhoon came through, repaired people's roofs, and the people that worked on my house, I paid them more per the salary. I mean, the going rate is top 400 per day. And I was paying some of the guys 600 and even 700. The guys that worked hard, they deserved it. That's just the kind of person I am. This is funny. When I'm down there, I wake up in the morning and Dex and I will go for walks. We go hit a different road. I talk. I'm trying to learn the culture. Very friendly. And everyone that comes up to me, they're like, "Are you American? You're rich." The first 2 words, well, 3 words. "You're American. You're rich." And I'm like, wow, where's this coming from? And I'm like, I just laugh and I just say, no, whatever. You can interview all the Filipinos you want. When you come from a foreign country, you got to remember, even if you have a low pension, 800, maybe it's 900, maybe it's 10,000, 5,000, whatever. You're automatically rich. You're not going to change it out of their minds, where I'm going with this is there's a lot of videos out there saying, and I don't want to scare nobody off. I made a lot of mistakes, but I didn't know. And you know what? It's just like in carpentry. You know how many times I hit my thumb and broke my nail? I mean, you're human, All you can do is learn and not do it again. And my wife had to learn. She's Filipino. She didn't think, like all these problems we had would happen. Well, listen, down in the province, there's a guy out there, and I love his channel. Philippine Life Through the Eyes of an Expat. He just posted a video. Can you live on 1,000 peso a month? I mean, you can. It depends what kind of lifestyle. But for some of you, if you're only making, because I know some people that were carpenters, they didn't invest right, they weren't union, they don't have the pension, they did a lot of 1099, they don't make much, You know, I know a couple people are getting like $800. I'm like, wow. You'd be better off living down there. Get in the province, maybe an hour out from a major hospital. Go down with some money. Can you live on 1,000 peso? Yeah. I mean, I spent 15 months there. There's times where, you know, I can't go vacation all the time. Sometimes you want to go to some resort and it's crowded, it's busy season. I don't want to be there. Dexla and I like going to a place, you know, when there's not a lot of people. You know, we can enjoy it a little bit better. You know, I know places where we live there in Tayasan, 3,500 peso, 2,500 peso. And they're actually okay. You know, I mean, some might have a stove, some might not. So you might want to get one of those little the propane burners. Those are cheap. You can pick them up for about 1,200 peso. Get your thing of gas. I think that's right around 1,500 peso. It'll last you over a month. You're cooking from scratch. You're going to the local markets. Especially if you're living in the province, you can go out to eat all day at the little markets, spend literally $2 per meal. You know, you got the beach there. You got there's a lot of good people. You just don't want to get involved. You know what I mean? Keep to yourself. Can you live? Yeah. You know, it's your life. How do you want to live? For you guys that want to go vacation and you're hitting resort after resort, yeah, you're going to spend more. You could spend 2, 3, 4,000. It depends what kind of hotel. It's like when we were in Lapu-Lapu, we stayed at, I got a video out there, I already forgot the name of the resort, right down the street from Mactan Newtown, by the C-Unit condos. Beautiful, right there on the beach. I got a deal because I think I had like $4 credit on Angoda. I applied, and it was under $50. That same hotel in America, I just came back from Traverse City, and it's not even the busy season. You're talking $200 per night. Busy season's $550, $600 for one night for a hotel. You know, you're always going to be considered rich there, and it is kind of cool or overwhelming wherever you walk. I mean, you can go up and walk and talk to just about anyone, and they're going to smile and they're going to talk to you. I've never once, if I struck a conversation, was turned down. Not like America. You know, here in America, that's a different story. You'll always be seen as rich. And, you know, I like that last video that guy posted because there's another guy out there that likes to stir up controversy. I think it's Sick Grandpa. And, man, that guy, he's disgusting, you know. I know what kind of people those are, you know. Everything he says, he's the one that was picked on. And, man, just one ugly dude that just talks down, especially when you're talking about dead people. You know, that Mark Thornton, he was a good guy. And you put a video out on somebody that passed away, man, that's just a sick person. Like I said, too, you got to watch out when you go over to the Philippines. Watch who you hang with. There's a lot of people that get over there that got criminal cases. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of goofiness over there. But you know where I'm going with this is you can live cheaply down there, or you can be in the big bubble. It's still way cheaper than America. You know, I can't speak on California because I even know California is way more expensive. But here in Michigan, I mean, we got some top-end hotels and some nice places, you know, like Traverse City, Dearborn, Michigan, the Ritz-Carlton, you know, where you could pay, you know, $1,000, $2,000 a night. I'm sure down at the casinos they got those suite rooms and stuff. But, you know, it's how you want to live. But right outside the bubble, I mean, you can get some really nice, there's places there that are nice little apartments. I am pretty amazed, me coming from a builder background, that, you know, the nice tile, marble floors, it's pretty neat. And then a lot of them come furnished too, a lot of them. So you got your bed. So a lot of you can live rich down there. But like I said, there's some consequences into living cheap, you know. You know, when you're living in the condos or the bubble, when you have a brownout, a lot of them got generators, so you don't got to worry about not having electricity or water. They got the water backup supply. But then again, if you live in the province, you can just jump in the ocean if you want. So I don't know. But Asia's fascinating, you know. Like I told my wife, I would love to go see some, like go to Singapore, Taiwan, Taiwan or Thailand. And like I said back in a few other videos, I was supposed to go there, but I had to go to the Philippines at the last minute. And I think we're missing out. I would really like to see some Asian countries with better infrastructure. I've already heard, I have friends that travel to Vietnam that say it's even cheaper, more nicer than the Philippines. Because think about it, you got one island. You know, the Philippines has got tons of islands. You know, take this bus. This bus is running late. Or then you got to catch the small bus where I got to buy 2 seats because my big ass can't fit in 1 seat because there's these little teeny seats. You know, travel over the port. You're waiting on a boat. Then all of a sudden the boats aren't coming because the waves are too big. You know, they're not coming until tomorrow. So now you got to go find a place to sleep. You know, so, you know, then you got the visa extensions. It is how, it's whatever you want to spend. You know, they have a lifestyle over there for the rich and famous. You get over there in Makati, outside Manila. I've been there, so I can speak on it, Newport. Yeah, it's nice. It's just busy. You know, it's very, very busy. And like I said, and I've stated before, it's good temporarily for me, maybe a month. And then that's just the way I am. I'm a country boy. I like to be kind of by myself. I don't want my neighbors, you know, too close to me. You know, I don't want to hear their conversation. But it is true. If you're always going to be considered rich, if you're an expat over there, a lot of people abuse it. I don't like that. You know, I've seen it. I've hung out with a couple people, Dexel and I, and they start getting rowdy and just the way they treat some of the people. But that's them, you know. Yeah. You can live on, you know, if you are engaged or you're married to a Filipina and you got a little house in the province, and if you're not using aircon, you know, there's a lot of days I got these big industrial fans. I don't need the aircon. I got to run that fan. But I have a rheumatoid arthritis, so when the fan's blowing on me all night, it makes me cramp up. You know, I'm all like, "Brr." So I got to run the aircon, so our electricity bill's a little bit higher. You can get solar. You know, you guys can save. Get your solar panels, enough to run, you know, refrigerator, aircon, maybe 1,500 watt aircon, just one for the bedroom. Start off with a small unit. You could probably get a pretty decent one for 150,000 peso. And up, and you can live cheaply. You know, you buy off of Magnolia. We have Magnolia and this other place. We have the direct numbers. We'll buy, you know, 50 to 100 chickens. Then we clean them, bag them, put them in the freezer. You know, we go down and buy, you know, the tenderloins. We buy, you know, $50, $100 worth of beef, and wash it, chop it, package it, put it in the freezer. You know. Then once, you know, then where I live, it's awesome. I can go to this resort and it's 50 peso to go swimming. And we've been there so much, they got these tables with the big umbrellas. It seats about 10 or 12 people. Half the time they don't even charge us to sit there. You know, the kids can go order their, what is it, Halo drink, or it's this ice cream thing, dessert. And me and Dex will swim. There's lots of fun stuff there. That you can do for next to no money. The one thing I give the Philippines is if you do have a family, your money goes a long ways there. It does. It goes a long ways. It's just getting the family to point A to point B. That's all. You know, you never know what you're going to run into. So that's where you got to learn the patience. So anyways, like I said, if you're new to the channel, I'm Jim. I'm married to a Filipina. And if you haven't made a trip to the Philippines, you should try it out. Try it out. You know, start off in the bubble. I recommend, I like flying into Mactan, Newtown Airport because you can get right there quick after the long flight, get your head together. And then start Googling or have something mapped out, a couple days there, a day to recover, go check that little area out, and then go from there. You can move on from island to island, and I use Angoda. I get a lot of good prices on Angoda for booking hotels, cheaper than Expedia. But Expedia, I've been getting really good prices for flights. But right now, the flights are up. The flights are up right now. But still way cheaper than the first time I ever flew over to the Philippines. 2019, December 12th. I think round trip tickets, I paid $2,400. Right now, right around $1,700, $1,800. Where my last trip back, I think it's 2 months ago, I was in Cebu. I got round trip tickets for $1,057. That's $1,057. That was a good deal. Fly in there like three-hour layovers, but my dumbass doesn't read the going home flight, and I end up getting 8 hours in Taiwan, which that's fine. I love Taiwan Airport. Oh my God, that place is phenomenal. And there's a nice lounge. You go there, shower, the food, it's so cheap. And but then when I flew to Seattle, Washington, 16 hours. 16 hours in that place. Oh my God. Never again will I spend 16 hours. But anyways, hey, you guys, stay tuned. I'm going to put out a video here in the next couple days letting you know how this court case goes. If you guys are new to the channel, you don't know, check out some of the other videos. And hopefully everything should be dismissed, done. But like I said, it's the Philippines. We'll see. So thanks for listening.